Well, hey, everybody, it's Keith with Trades Education Center.
Chris with Trades Education Center.
Welcome to the first official episode of Trades Secrets, the official podcast of Trades Education Center. And Chris, what do we got on tap today?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say how cool space we have, right? It's a different setup than what we've had previously. Well,
Yep.
I haven't been on camera here.
This is
Clearly
true.
I've been here before.
Yeah.
But
I've been making little shorts and stuff.
yeah. No, I'm excited. I think this is a neat looking spot, and I'm glad that we're able to have the opportunity to kind of do this kind of stuff. So,
Absolutely.
So the first week, we just wrapped our first week
Sure did.
of students.
Yes.
Right?
We had apprentices in the building learning.
With the new wet lab and the new warehouse and all the new stuff. That's what some of you guys maybe know this, maybe don't. We're in a new facility, completely halfway decked out.
Yeah, halfway down.
Halfway decked out. What did we cover this week?
Well, at the beginning, just like every other, I guess, training or school, you got to start out with just some of the boring stuff.
Yep.
It's necessary. We need it, but it's not compelling television. So we did an intro night where everybody got to share their story a little bit, why they're here, why we're here, and why we're doing what we're doing. And then covered some just legal stuff, making sure everybody's paperwork is signed, all that kind of good stuff. Second night, went over some ground rules with safety. As you know, being in that world, safety is incredibly important.
Yeah.
Even things will happen. So it's a matter of being prepared for when those happen.
Yeah.
So-
knowing where the first aid kits are, knowing what to do. And we don't like to demo safety as much because cutting somebody's finger off isn't liability. You know
And
what I
here's
mean?
how you cut your finger off.
Yeah.
But yeah, just some of those things about maintaining equipment correctly, letting someone know if you've got a dull saw.
Yeah.
Just things like that. We're
That
going to
dull knife cuts you a lot quicker than a sharp knife.
You got it. And we are going to have more safety later on. We are going to get our apprentices OSHA 10 certified later in the program. So that's exciting. And then last night, our third night of the week, we got into the warehouse.
That's cool.
We talked about material and tool organization and how much those affect what people do in the field, and not just in the field, but in the wholesale side, manufacturing side, wherever you are. Keeping your stuff organized, it makes things go better.
And understanding how the warehouses are typically laid out, how they can be laid out, the importance of knowing where everything's at, how it affects you. You know, where are you going to lay the stuff out at? Do you want it close? Do you want it far? What do you want close? What do you not need close? So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, we were able to double our capacity in terms of our rack space. So we were able to take the apprentices in there and say, okay, well, Tim walked them through what a typical warehouse might look like, or some different methods, and said, well, this is kind of our idea of how we want to lay it out here, but not everything's put where it should be.
Right.
So Tim and I we had them walk around for a few minutes because they don't know what they're looking at. I mean, they're looking at, that looks like pipe. You're correct.
Yeah, we're day 3. We haven't gone over fittings or what this is or how to use it. Nothing.
So we let them walk around for a little bit and say, okay, now that y'all have kind of walked around a little bit, we want y'all to figure out how to organize this space. Obviously with guidance, y'all can ask us questions. When I say us, I mean Tim. Ask Tim.
Yeah, I was not here.
Ask Tim questions. So we did, and it was great because it was that first opportunity to watch them work together, to start learning some of those personalities. But also it was nice to have them try things, ask the question, get feedback, and then do something a little different. So they totally... Chris was here yesterday and came back today and went, they totally changed it. Yes, they did.
Yep. They totally took ownership of it and made it their own, which is good because they're going to understand that better. And I also think if you're watching this thinking about coming here, when you come into that warehouse, it's going to be disorganized. And it's one of your first days, you and your classmates are going to go through there, and your teammates, and you guys are going to work on, hey, how do we want to set this up for our class? Because it's going to be different for every class. So.
Yeah. Every group of apprentices will come into a freshly disorganized warehouse on purpose, because then when we get to that night, we'll turn you loose and have you organize it. And because, I mean, whether you work in wholesale, whether you work at a local contractor that might have a supply room, or a mini warehouse, or a Connex, whatever it might be, you're going to have to know how to find stuff.
Yeah. How do you find stuff on your service truck if you're a service guy?
You got it.
And I've seen a lot of service vans. It looks like you just took all the material and put it in there and shook the van up, and then you like just drove to the job.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. Tim mentioned it because he knows of guys that, let's say they've got their MAP gas bottle, and they didn't strap it down to something. It bounced around in the van, hit something, and exploded.
Yeah,
that's a real thing. Yeah. Like that actually has happened. Yeah. So we talked about those little safety things, and organization's a great way to be safe.
And it saves you money, right? If you're a new plumber, you're out there working, you're trying to do the thing, keeping your stuff organized. It also helps that when you order something, if you take that box of stuff you just ordered and you take it out to your organized truck and put it away, you know that, hey, either I ordered something wrong or the supply house pulled something wrong.
Yeah.
Or, oh, man, I need 4 more of these things. So, no, that organization is a huge, huge, huge thing.
Absolutely.
Huge thing. Very big thing.
So that was the end of the week. And when they come back next week, we're going to look at hand tools. We'll look at power tools, and then we'll look at some big fun tools.
I'm excited. That's the hand tools are fun. You get into the power tools, you start using whole hogs and sawzalls and drills. That's always cool. And then that third night, we're gonna have there's gonna be a Mini X. They're gonna learn how to start using a Mini X, and there's gonna be some trenchers and some jackhammers and some bigger fun stuff that I'm excited for them to get on.
Yeah, and again, it's not that they're gonna leave here being experts, but they're gonna leave having been on each of those apparatuses, having used every tool multiple times, so that they have a good grasp, a good foundation, so that they're not scared of it when they go to work for somebody.
Right. Or they can jump on it and move it, or they can jump on the trencher and they can use the trencher for a few minutes, or they know how to use the jackhammer, how to not fight it when you're using it, because that's a lot of people don't really understand. Like, let the tools do the work. Let the tools do the work. That's exactly right. That's it. So, well, it was a good first week then.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I know. I'm like I said, the first kind of 2 days are my least favorite. I think they're everybody's least favorite. They're not, like you said, it's don't cut yourself, and this is sharp, and hey, if you do something stupid, you're going to get hurt, and which everybody's like, yeah, we know.
Well, and I had to say the cool part was, we had the guys, we had them 2 shirts and a hat waiting for them the first night, and I, kind of offhand said, hey, these are for y'all to wear if you wish. I know it's only 2 shirts, and we here 3 nights a week. I said, but however you want to do it, but this is for y'all to wear here.
Yeah.
And they showed up all, like the second 2 nights, all of them showed up.
Yeah.
With their shirt.
Yeah.
And a couple guys even, I think 3 of the guys had their hat, I mean, I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was exciting to see that. So.
Yeah, that is another thing. When you guys show up, like you said, there's some hats and some shirts, and shirts are ours. The hats are usually from a vendor or somebody, a manufacturer who's on board and trying to do what we're doing. So, cool stuff.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
Cool stuff. So, we would be remiss if we didn't have a shout out to a company called GEC, an electrical contractor out of Winder, a local town for us. They made a sizable donation to our school because they believe in what we're doing. And because of it, we're able to do some kind of new, kind of cool stuff. So can you take us down that road of?
Absolutely. So GEC Contractors in Winder, they've been around for, quite a few years now. And one of the owners is a very good friend of mine, Daniel Garner. He and his partner, Todd Schultz. Todd, that is not Schultz. But Todd and Daniel, they've seen the same struggles in the industry that you guys have on the plumbing side. So as electricians, they're having the struggle of finding good apprentices to bring in. They've even tried the route of having a training facility in their own business, but they ran into the same problem that everybody else does: manpower and time. They don't have a dedicated person that they can hire to train. There's no room for that in their business. Most everybody else.
Like most everybody else. And the recruiting and awareness.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go into a school? A company doesn't have time to have some person go into a school and start recruiting.
Yeah.
We're just starting to inform some of these people, hey, here are some career opportunities.
Yeah. So they tried it and, again, got frustrated, and I've kept Daniel updated with what we're doing. They've come out and seen it like twice now. And they were like, listen, this is exactly what we want to see happen. How you guys are doing it is exactly how we would approach doing the electrical side. So yeah, they've made a very generous investment in what we're doing, and it's going to allow us to build out the rest of what we're doing here at this location. which is super exciting for what we're going to be able to do for this group of apprentices and the next group at the very least.
At the very least.
For those two groups. And it's allowed us to finish out some other things that we were kind of holding out on. So huge shout out to them. And plumbing industry, I'm going to put this out there. They're electrical contractors, and they invested in a plumbing school.
And as a plumber, now if electricians, any electrician out there is going to know, any plumber out there is going to know, there's a little bit of a rivalry between plumbers and electricians.
Just a little.
So for all you plumbers out there, the electricians are investing. I'm just saying, it's kind of embarrassing a little bit to be on the other end of that because.
But again, it speaks to their concern of all skilled trades.
Yeah, and I think that's the bigger takeaway is the fact that this is not unique to plumbing.
No,
this is unique, not even unique to even trades really.
No,
we've focused on trades, but any of those hands-on blue collar positions and jobs, everybody is just in such dire need of good, dependable, educated people.
Yeah.
Educated.
Yeah.
Hands-on education people.
So anybody in Winder, I'm going to go ahead and say it. If you're in need of electrical work, particularly residential, commercial, GEC contractors.
Most of Northeast Georgia, right?
Yeah.
They're not unique, or they're not local to just here.
They cover a lot. So, and great company. Now, it might take a day or two because they are busy.
Well, they're shorthanded.
They're shorthanded. So
if only they had a place to get contractors and employees from. Yeah.
So, those guys are awesome. We love them.
Yeah. All of our curriculum partners.
Yeah, for that matter.
Yeah, yeah. Right? I know we've had Pulling Associates out here. They handle Delta and Charlotte Pipe and Ream water heaters. They've been out here and they're on board, jumping on with us. Harry Warren, of course, they've been with us kind of from the beginning.
Yeah.
Watts and Odie and A.O. Smith, American Standard. They don't have a rep. They're a
agency.
Self-supported.
Yeah.
In-house. In Milwaukee Tools. They've been Doug, one of the reps for Milwaukee. He's been big. He's been a big deal for us. He's helped us out since kind of the very beginning.
Yeah, and I want to say really quickly too, some of the people that have just come by, those who don't know, we're about 10 minutes outside of Athens, Georgia, on Highway 29, US 129. You'll see us. There's a big sign that our partner Tim had the great idea. We should put a sign that says plumbing school.
So it's a giant white banner that says plumbing school. And I think we've got
more foot traffic off of that.
Just that one sign, what is
than the name of the facility. But
we've had manufacturers stop by. We've had unions stop by. I think everybody has come by and been like, wait a minute, what are you guys doing here?
Yeah. I mean, and a quick shout out, Tim House from Ream was, he dropped in one day. Love what we're doing, and matter of fact, he was here first night, Tuesday night, just because he wanted to see how things were going. He's actually a former trade school educator.
What a neat background! What a neat stuff.
Oh, dude! So we've got so much awesome support.
Yeah, from everybody.
Yeah,
from everybody. So, what's coming up aside from next week? We kind of already touched on next week, but what's coming up? What are we looking forward to? What are you looking forward to over the next couple of weeks?
Well, we are going to be starting to get into the local schools. So Winder High School, I'm going to be there not this coming week, but the next week. I'm going to be hanging out in the lunchroom with their career coordinator, Madeline Kraft there. She's graciously allowed me to come visit there during their lunch hour, and I'll be there for, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row on Mondays. And then we're going to start branching out to some other schools. I know we have a great connection with the Empower Center of Jackson County with Mr. John Easler.
Yep.
So we're going to be reaching out. And if we haven't reached out to you yet, if you're listening to this and you're in the Athens area and
Walton County, Hall County, Gwinnett counties,
Jackson,
Barrow,
any of those counties, and even a little bit further out. If you're within 30 minutes of us, give us a shout. We'd love to come hang out with your high schoolers, particularly looking at juniors and seniors.
What are you hoping to accomplish? What are you doing with those age groups?
Glad you said that. So the two things that we're going to focus on is letting them know, one, what in the world we're doing, who we are, what we're doing, and why we think it's a good option. So we're going to show them what are the career opportunities in the plumbing industry. They're vast.
It's a lot more. I think when you tell somebody about being a plumber, the first thing they think of is some guy with his butt crack hanging out, right? That's the first
Fixing the toilet.
Fixing the toilet, right? And although there's an aspect of it, that's a very small sliver of our industry, right? I mean, there's huge opportunities from distribution and sales and manufacturing and facilities maintenance alone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at University of Georgia's right down the road from us, and I think they always have a wanting plumber ad up because they need people for that facility, and that's a state job. Those are lifelong careers.
They are state bennies and all the good stuff.
All the good stuff, man. full health care and retirement and all the stuff. Stuff.
Yeah, and we've talked to some folks about, we've put some numbers together based on what the industry says, and we've had to up those numbers.
Yes,
because it's just a fact of our time right now that you can really make a career and make a really good living for yourself. You have to put in the work.
You got to work.
But
the salary levels,
man,
the income levels are definitely there. Definitely,
Yeah.
Especially like you said, if you're hungry, if you want to get out and push a little bit, it's there.
With very little debt.
Probably no debt. Actually, if maybe very little debt.
Yeah.
Maybe very little debt.
Yeah.
It's a time investment, right? There's always a trade off, but you'll be doing pretty good right out of the gate for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So those are some of the fun things. Like I said, getting in the schools, just getting our apprentices back in the door next week.
Yeah.
And we got some more meetings with folks. Can continue to work with education partners. Those are our pipeline partners.
Mm-hmm.
We continue to work with contractors. Those are our workforce partners. And we continue to work with our agencies and manufacturers. Those are our curriculum partners. So we continue to work with them. Gosh, we had some contractors in the other week, and I didn't know. And you, Tim, and you both had to kind of school me on this. I didn't know that some plumbers have a preference as to what part of the business they like to be in.
Oh yeah. Well, once again, that comes down to that highly specific thing. So my company, we really specialize in service, commercial, high-end residential service, and light commercial. I know a bunch of companies that will just do service, or they just do new construction commercial. And even that, you get into that, and hey, we only do this size of job, this square foot to this square footage, or this billing area. There are some companies that, hey, you know what? I only want to do big commercial and industrial service work. Like, we just want to work in plants. That's all we want to do.
Yeah.
So no, it is a highly new construction residential. It's not, gone are the days where it is one plumbing shop that kind of does everything. And there are those that out there. Yeah, we're going to get somebody. Well, we do it all. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, there
Good
are
on
still
you.
those.
Good on you.
But as a whole, as a general statement, it's not. It is very specialized.
Yeah.
Very specialized. Now.
Yeah, learning one or two of those contractors that night that we met with, they love layout, like underground layout.
Yeah, just underground.
Or in-ground layout.
Yep.
They're like, man, let's go dig some trenches.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
So.
I know of one company that all they do is dig. They only do water and sewer lines. That's it. Nothing else.
There you go.
And then, I mean, even that, you get some companies that just do water heaters.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they do.
Yep.
So no, it's like you said, it's a highly specialized, highly specific, typically.
Yeah. So that's the big update from us. Again, exciting first week. Exciting news with all of our partners, with the investments. It just we keep waiting for something.
Yeah. And we couldn't be here without all those people.
Yeah.
Right. And we couldn't be here without the interest from not only the industry, but also from potential students, potential apprentices. We would definitely not be able to be here to do it. And I will say that, nobody else is quite doing it the way that we're doing it. And I think the warehouse last night kind of speaks to that. It's if you want to sit in front of a computer screen and just learn a bunch of vocabulary, this is not going to be a good spot for you.
No, that's not us.
If you want to literally get your hands on stuff and get to work, then this is going to be the spot. This is what we're looking at.
Put your hands on stuff, break some stuff, and then learn how to do it.
Yeah,
better.
let's break. Like I'm all for that. That's how you learn, right? Like let's get out there and break it. Hopefully not the heavy equipment, but
no, we don't want to break that.
No, that gets expensive really quick.
Yeah, really quick.
Really, really quick.
But yeah, so it's exciting. We look forward to giving you guys more updates. Thank y'all for being with us with the first official episode of Trade Secrets.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Keith.
And thank you guys for watching, tuning in, and we'll have more updates soon. Thank you for joining us here at TEC, Trades Education Center, on Trade Secrets, the official podcast of Trades Education Center. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.